All right, so for writing today, we're going to learn about a story mountain. Now, a story mountain is a type of graphic organizer that helps you kind of plan out how you're going to write your story to make sure you're including all of the crucial parts of the story, including not only your events, but also the emotions your characters are feeling, your events and your emotions. So what I need you guys to do right now is you need to get out your writing notebook, right? You should have a spiral notebook that you do writing in. You need to have that handy, and you need to draw a story mountain in that notebook. If you don't have a notebook, get a piece of paper and draw this on there. Whatever you have, you need to draw yourself a story mountain. I'm going to hold it there for just a minute while you draw your own story mountain. So for today, I'm going to read you guys a story. And the story is Ruthie and the Not So Teeny Tiny Lie. And as I read this story, you're going to be thinking of the key events that are happening in the story as we read it. And you're going to notice the events, they start in the beginning and they kind of build up to the top. This top is the climax. And we talked about the climax last week. The climax is kind of that changing point in the story where you go from having a problem that's happening to now you have the solution, and the solution is on your downhill track, okay? So we're building up with the events that are happening, just the key events, the events that are happening in our story until we hit that climax where we go from having a problem to having the solution to that problem. As you're writing the events, think about the emotions that the characters are feeling too. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they scared? Are they angry? Okay, what are the emotions that are happening? Now, as I read this book, you're going to do your best to complete your own story mountain to go with this, okay? So here we go. Ruthie and the Not So Teeny Tiny Lie. It says, for all the wonderful teachers who help our children through their not so teeny tiny troubles. All right. Ruthie loved let me start again. Ruthie loved tiny things. The tinier, the better. Her toys were the teeniest imaginable. She had dinky dinosaurs, itty-bitty trains, ponies no bigger than your pinky, and teddy bears that were barely there.
Miss Trouble?
Yes.
Are we supposed to, while you're reading the story, are we supposed to, like write about the story, like organize
So
it?
as I'm reading this book, you're trying to think of what the key events are that are happening in the story as you listen to it. Yes, you are filling this in as I'm reading aloud.
Okay.
Ruthie loved finding tiny treasures too. At the beach, she searched for the smallest seashells. The flowers she picked were no bigger than fairy wings. She even had an eggshell from a hummingbird. And wherever Ruthie went, she carried some teeny thing in her pocket. One day at school recess, after jump rope and swings, Ruthie took a turn on the twirling bar. When she landed, she saw something in the grass. It was a little box with a teensy window and an even tinier button on top. She couldn't believe her luck. It was a teeny tiny camera. Ruthie looked through its little window. Then she pressed the button on top to take a picture. Click, just like a real camera. This was absolutely the best thing Ruthie had ever found, and it was hers. Click, click. She tried it out every which way. Say cheese, clouds. Click. Say cheese, little bug. Click. Say cheese, school. Click. Say cheese, Martin. Click. But Martin didn't say cheese. Martin said, "Hey, that's my camera." Ruthie was startled. "No, it's not. It's mine." "Give it to me," said Martin. "It's mine." "It is not." "It's too." "No, it's not," shouted Ruthie, and she raced back to class. "What's going on?" asked Mrs. Olson. "Ruthie's got my camera," cried Martin. "I got it for my birthday and I dropped it on the playground." But Ruthie wanted that teeny tiny camera in the worst way. "It's mine," she yelled. "I got it for my birthday." Well, that wasn't true at all. Not one teeny tiny bit. Mrs. Olson looked at Martin. She looked at Ruthie. "Goodness, this is a problem," she said. "The camera can't belong to both of you. I'll keep it safe in my desk drawer for now. Let's talk about it again tomorrow." Ruthie's stomach flip-flopped all the rest of the day. She couldn't remember the answer to 2 + 2. When Mrs. Olson read the story, every word flew straight out the window. The bus ride home took forever. "Hi, Ruthie," said Mama. "How was school?" "Okay," mumbled Ruthie. Dinner was macaroni and cheese, Ruthie's favorite, but she couldn't eat, not one little bite. "Aren't you feeling well?" asked Papa. "I'm not hungry," she said. At bedtime, Ruthie was close to tears. "What's the matter?" asked Mama. So Ruthie told Mama and Papa the whole story. "What do you think went wrong?" asked Papa. "I said it was my camera," cried Ruthie, "but it's not." "It's going to be okay," said Papa. "You made a mistake, and tomorrow you can fix it. I think Mrs. Olson and Martin will understand." But the next morning, Ruthie could barely eat. Maybe Mrs. Olson wouldn't understand. Maybe Ruthie would have to sit in the timeout corner. Maybe Martin would never talk to her again. Maybe no one would ever talk to her again. Not one teeny weeny word. The school bell was about to ring. Ruthie took a deep breath and began the long walk to the front of the room. Mrs. Olson's desk seemed very far away. "Good morning, Ruthie," said Mrs. Olson. "I have something to tell you," said Ruthie in a very small voice. "The camera isn't mine. I didn't get it for my birthday. I found it on the playground." Mrs. Olson didn't make her sit in the timeout corner. She didn't even look mad. Instead, she gave Ruthie a hug and kissed the top of her head. "Thank you for telling the truth," said Mrs. Olson. "That took a lot of courage." "I'm very sorry, Martin," said Ruthie. "It's okay," said Martin. Real quick, those friends that are going to have to leave here at 1:30, I will send you this video so you can go back and review the rest of the assignment and know what you have to turn in to go along with this, okay?
Okay.
All at once, Ruthie's stomach stopped flip-flopping. She even skipped a little on her way back to her desk. She got the right answer to 3 plus 7 in math. After lunch, Mrs. Olson read the funniest story Ruthie had ever heard. And on the short bus ride home, Ruthie realized she didn't miss the teeny tiny camera. Not one teeny tiny bit. All right. So hopefully you guys have been filling out your story mountain with the events that go along with the story. Okay. Remembering that the top of that mountain is the climax of the story. That's when we go from our problem to our solution. So let's kind of take a look at how your story mountain could be filled out. So our first event is just that Ruthie loves tiny things, right? That's pretty descriptive of the very beginning of the story. Ruthie loves tiny things. And what emotion does Ruthie have? She's happy, right? She's happy because of this love for all of her tiny toys that she has. From there, we learn that Ruthie finds a camera. That's the next major event in the story. She finds the camera. How does she feel when she finds the camera? Anybody want to share out loud? How does Ruthie feel when she finds the camera?
Happy.
Really happy.
Really happy.
She's happy, she's excited, right? She's excited because she found a camera. I know this might be kind of hard for you guys to see. It might be kind of far away, but that's why we're talking about it as I'm sharing it. And if you didn't finish your story mountain, make sure you're writing these in right now, okay? Make sure you're writing these in right now. So my first event is that Ruthie loves tiny things. They make her happy. So Ruthie loves tiny things is on top of the mountain, and under the mountain is that emotion of happy. My second thing is that she finds the camera, okay? Again, we're looking for these key events, the major events in the story. There are other things that happened in between there, but the major event is her finding the camera. And she's really excited when she finds that camera. Carter, I see your hand is up.
Yes, this is about the story when the teacher kissed the student on the head. I'm not sure teachers are allowed to do that.
Probably not, but it's a made-up story, so we're just going to go with it.
Wait,
I'm not sure
someone
what
getting
animals
kicked in the
like this
head?
don't want to supply there. All right, so finds a camera. Our next major event. Martin says that camera's his, right? She found this camera, she's super excited, but now her friend Martin comes up and Martin says, no, that's my camera. That's not your camera. That's my camera. How does that make Ruthie feel? That now that this cool camera that she found, she can't really, it's not hers, it's someone else's. How does that make her feel? Frustrated? Okay.
Upset.
She's
Kinda
upset,
mad.
yeah. She's a little surprised too, right? Because she thought that it was just lost out there, you know, in the grass of the playground. So she's surprised that it actually belongs to somebody. And she's also feeling kind of selfish because when he says, oh, that's my camera, she says, that's my camera. Okay, so she's being a little selfish there also. I'm gonna uncover the next couple actually. Yeah, we'll go to there. So the next few events in order. She lies to the teacher, right? She ends up going home. And then while she's at home, she talks to her parents, okay? And throughout all of those things, the emotion she's feeling is a lot of guilt. She's feeling very guilty for how she has lied to the teacher, and then she goes home, and also she's feeling guilty at dinner and such with her parents, okay? Because of the lies that she has told during the day. So do you see how that's all like our rising action? We're going up that mountain, all of those things are happening, and then we reach our climax. Because now we're gonna start coming back down off that mountain. So she's feeling guilty, she talks to her parents. What do her parents tell her to do? they tell her to tell the truth, right? Her parents say, hey, you need to go to school and you need to tell the truth. And when she hears that, she starts to feel relieved. Yes, that is the right thing to do. If I tell the truth, it can fix this situation for me and it can make it all okay. So now she has to go and tell the truth, and her emotion is that she's relieved. What happens when she tells her teacher the truth? The teacher thanks her, right? Thank you for telling the truth, Ruthie. I know it can be hard to tell the truth sometimes. But the teacher thanks her, and when the teacher thanks her, what emotion does she start to feel?
Relieved.
She's relieved. She's happy again.
Happy.
Right? She's happy again now that she's told the truth. Okay? The teacher thanks her. Next, she apologizes to Martin. Okay? And Martin accepts her apology, right? And so she's happy again because she's apologized to Martin. And now she and Martin are friends again. And then she finishes out her day. And the rest of the day is good. She is happy for the rest of her day. Okay, so there's our story mountain. We start with some introduction into the characters. We build up, we get this problem that's created of her stealing the camera. The problem comes to a head, to the climax, where the solution comes up, where the parents tell her, you really need to tell the truth. And then the solution, she comes down, she apologizes to her teacher, she apologizes to Martin, and we hit the end of the story with her finishing out her day. Okay? She starts happy. She starts to become excited, but then her selfishness leads her to feeling guilty over taking the camera. Once she apologizes, though, she has that feeling of relief, and she brings back her happy emotions again towards the end of the story. Okay? I'm going to hold this up a little bit closer here so you can see it again to see how your story mountain should be filled out to look like my story mountain. Okay, your story mountain should be completed just like my story mountain.
The words are kind of blurry.
Yeah, it should be similar to my story mountain. How about that? It doesn't have to be exact. I do believe that there's a picture of this in Otis also. So let me, it might not be a filled out one though. I might need to add a completed one to Otis. But while you guys are looking at this, I'm going to look in Otis real quick. Give me about 1 more minute here. Okay, so there is not this completed one. It doesn't look like in, oh, no, it is. So in Otis, in your lessons, let me go ahead and share so you guys can see that. Come back to Zoom. Zoom, share. This is what I want to share. So in Otis, in your lessons, under writing, down here at number 11 is your story mountain, okay? So you can click on that and you can kind of see it. It's still a little tough to see, but there is the sample of the story mountain there. And you'll see the instructions. The instructions here are to create a story mountain for a topic of your choice. You can create a story mountain for a book that you have read, or you could create one for a story that you want to write or a story that you have written, okay? But you're gonna create your story mountains. I'm gonna go ahead and put an assessment for you in Otis, I haven't done it yet, for you to take a picture of your story mountain to turn in, okay? So remember, your story mountain should include the events along the top of the mountain, how it has events right there. And along the bottom, it should have the emotions that the main characters are feeling. Your story mountain should show a problem on the rise of the mountain, and down on the decline of the mountain is where your solution is, where the problem is being solved. okay? But just on a piece of scratch paper, you are gonna create your own story mountain. You're not turning in the one for Ruthie and the Not So Teeny Tiny Lie. You're creating your own that you're going to turn in. Are there any questions on that?